still in our Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And we are just a few miles from our top of descent into Dominica. Alright, so I was just going to go ahead and do this, reasonably short flight. We are doing our RNAV runway 27 approach. The thing about this is the winds are at 15 knots for landing. So we should expect a pretty difficult landing today. I may attempt to do the runway 27. In the event that this does not work out too fine for me, or I don't feel comfortable with it, I may just try the 09 approach into runway 27. As usual, our descent or our initial fix, which is going to be Carrot, is going to be at 1,700 feet, and our minimum descent altitude for that straight-in landing is 940 feet. Now, there is a circle to land, but that's basically circle to land via runway 09er, which Navigraph does not have the procedures to. It's more of a VFR landing, so to speak, and we are in VATSIM, so we are going to be doing a full flaps landing today with auto brakes set to 3, and we are going to be off our autopilot by 1,000 feet AGL. Or once we are parallel to the runway, we are going to be using head-in mode. So as soon as we hit our final approach fix, we're going to break off for a right-hand turn and enter our right or our left base for runway 09 in the event that runway 27 is not applicable. Now, I normally do this with the ERJ, and the Embraer 175 is okay to do it with. This is going to be my first time actually flying into Dominica using the 737, so it should be a perfect rendition for this flight. Alright, we're just keeping an eye out for our top of descent. It's going to be shortly, just 20 miles, about 30 miles. There's our top of descent. We've already got our minimum set up, 940 feet. Today I'm hoping to be doing some streaming or some flights with Islands in Pilot. I'm hoping that he's going to come on, or else I'll be throwing a hissy fit like I told him. Like I said on the Discord, let's go ahead and prepare our aircraft for this approach. I am definitely going to be throwing a hissy fit in the event that he does not come on. I'm going to be pissed. But we are flying in pretty nicely. Alright, so we are beyond St. Kitts right now. This is going to be, we're off, St. Kitts is off our right. And Antigua is off our left there. So this is going to be Antigua. And Barbuda is over here. We're going to be approaching for Guadeloupe in a minute. Guadeloupe is directly ahead of us. Again, this is going to be location that I am very familiar with, seeing that I fly into the Caribbean a lot. A lot of these runways, I do have a very good idea as to what their minimums are going to be like, what their conditions are like, and what the winds are when approaching these runways, and what to expect. I have a very, very, very good eye for what to expect when landing at these runways. So again, Dominica is about 6,000 feet long, 6,500 to 6,700 feet long. In the sim, it is not properly rendered or not properly represented, as they represent it as being only 5,700 feet. There's 1,000 feet added onto this runway as an extension right now, so it's not going to be a proper representation, but we should be able to land and stop before we hit the end of the runway. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and get some of my stuff prepared, such as my mount for my joystick. I've got to clean that thing soon. Alright, so joystick is set. Got to dust and do a lot of things. I was doing a little bit of cleanup today. However, no, it's not always something that happens pretty quick. So this, we started at around 9 o'clock. This flight is, or previously they were expected to land at around 3 o'clock because of how late they did depart. I departed on time. The weather was horrendous in Newark. It was rainy and rain and fog up until 5,000 feet. When I climbed out, I was busting out through clouds at about 3,000 to 5,000 feet, and we still had to end up turning away from some serious weather out there. All right, so here we come up to our top of the descent. We're just waiting for the vertical navigation to take place, and then we should be getting down to our final altitude. So here we go. And as previously, this is the 737-700, so we are going to be doing the same flight. This is actually the same tail number as well, November 27734. So it is gonna be basically identical to everything. The only difference is the date and the weather. So when they were landing yesterday, they had up to at least a 7-knot tailwind for landing, and it was pretty rough. It was pretty bumpy on that landing. Just making sure everything is good while we do our descent. That's now at auto brake 3, and we are all set for our final altitude, which is about 2,000 feet. Now for the sim, the difference is that our alternate airport is going to be in Guadeloupe for some reason. However, our alternate airport for here would have been San Juan. And that's the only thing differently, or done differently. Now, I will go over to Guadeloupe again, just to try to keep with it. However, I definitely think that we are going to be able to land here. It's not something that is too difficult, especially if you are around the area, if you know how everything is, or what all the procedures are. So yeah, we should be all set. There goes a bike. Very funny. Okay, so it's a little choppy out here. Weather is well, it does look reasonably good out here. It's sunny, but it's windy as heck, and the seas are pretty rough. So you are you are expecting that type of challenge. Alright, so we're popping up to Papa Romeo, which is about 30 miles, and we are going to be using our speed brake in order for us to slow down once we start going below 10,000 feet. We still have our lights and everything set up the way we did when we left, just minus the logo lights. We're just keeping that as is. The aircraft is set up for short field, so this is ETOP certified as well. Right now, if I am quiet, I'm just monitoring some of my instruments here, making sure that everything is where I need it to be. I'm watching my speed, watching my descent rate, and keeping an eye off on my fuel right there. If you notice, our winds have changed and it's starting to move around, so the wind direction is changing right now. Our standard altitude is our transition altitude is 9,000 feet, so we're not going to be adjusting it once we get down. We're going to be adjusting it beyond 9,000 feet. And if you notice, Dominica is already looking cloudy out there, so runway 09er definitely does look like it's out of the question for this landing. So it depends on how it looks. We may be able to squeeze through. I'm not going to be squeezing through under clouds or anything like that. If even there are clouds up in the mountains, I'm not going to attempt that landing. If the clouds are above at least 4,000 feet, we should be able to attempt the landing. However, from what I'm seeing, our clouds are, from our METAR here, our clouds are scattered at 2,100 feet. So although we got good visibility, although we got good weather and it is VFR, it's not going to look like a proper landing for runway 09. So we are below 17,000 right now, just keeping monitoring my speed, monitoring my descent rate, and checking our fuel here. We're okay. Weather is still reasonable. We are getting a little bit of turbulence getting in here, and the approach, if I can see out here, the approach does look iffy. So yeah, we are definitely that does not look, I think I should go to level change, but it will come down. There we go. Just monitor it properly here. For some reason I do believe that the aircraft is gonna approach me ref. Let's go in and ref, and we're flaps 40. So there we go. Again, I'm just monitoring everything here. I'm going to go ahead and try to slow down the aircraft here right now. Again, I was quiet because I was responding to someone's, to a comment someone made regarding some issues that were pressing back here in Dominica. Alright, crossing 10,000 feet, our landing lights are coming on with our turnoffs, and we are continuing that descent. We need to get down to 2,000 out there. Let's initiate our level change and allow the aircraft to get down quicker. I'm not going to keep this doing its VNAV. We're just going to go ahead and level change. We need 2,000 feet, and what it's doing there is not going to be sufficient for me. Now, our standard is going to be changed right now as we cross through 9,000 feet. And we are experiencing some turbulence here for this landing, or for this approach. Alright, the approach to runway 09 does look clear. Again, it's like somewhere in between here, and then you circle in, but the fact that the clouds are all the way up towards the mountains here, it does look like it's closer to the mountains. I'm not going to attempt that approach. I'm just going to go ahead and attempt our runway 27 approach. In the event that we are not able to get down the way that we need to, I'm going to go around and or I'm going to break off and do the runway 09 approach. Alright, let's see. 1.9er for Douglas Charles Tower. And we're off Unicom, and we're on Douglas Charles Tower now. Alright, so we are still maintaining our proper airspeed and altitude for this descent. Okay, so it does look clear enough for landing at 09. So if I don't feel comfortable with making this landing at runway 27, I shall go ahead and circle for runway 09. The aircraft should still be able to make that approach and landing. $1,700. Douglas Charles traffic. United 2849, we are on the RNAB Yankee runway 27 approach, Douglas Charles traffic. Right, so we've set to 1700 for this final here, just to ensure that we are at the correct altitude for all this. So again, the approach for runway 09 does look clear. In the event that we are having issues with 27 or we don't feel safe enough to do a 27 approach, we'll go ahead and do a 09er landing today. Again, the winds are 110 at 20 knots. Again, it is okay for the aircraft, but we are getting there for our final today. Let's go ahead and get flaps 1. Up to 180 knots. Select flaps 2. Spoilers disarmed. Flaps 5. Yep, and the approach does look clear, so it should be fine. 1,000 to go.
2,500.
2,500. So 150. Look at Charles traffic. Southwest 2849, we are on final for runway 27. All right, let's go. Gear down. So flaps to full and landing checklist 9 gear down lock 3 greens. Spoilers are armed. Flaps 40 green light. Landing checklist is complete. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights to on, and our engine starts to continuous. Would approach work? Yeah, the approach does work. Altitude is being held, waiting for that glide path. All right, there we go, and we are go 125. And again, this wind speed for this landing is ridiculously high. Right, prep for autopilot disconnect.
One thousand hundred. Minimums.
Continuing. That winds is not giving me anything good today. Takes a lot of focus.
300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Alrighty guys, and welcome to Dominica. Yeah, although the landing looks smooth for me, it looked stuttery for you guys, or jittery for you guys. Let's go get our flaps up. Spoilers are up. Go ahead and get our APU to on. Disarm our auto brake. Not as difficult as I would have thought it would have been. As easy as it comes. They planted that aircraft way too hard last time when they came here. We're getting off on Alpha. greet me. No fire trucks, but there we go. Can't see where he is. I know he's down there. Brakes are set, and we can go ahead and alright, so there we are, and we're all set. And we didn't even burn up our brakes. That's perfect. Sweet landing, smooth as we can be.